Chapter 6 Combustion and Flame. Fuels. We use different types of fuels in home, in trade and industry, and to run automobiles. These fuels include charcoal, CNG or compressed natural gas, coal, cow dung, diesel, petrol, and wood. When we observe a burning candle and when we burn coal, there is a difference. We can see that candle burns with a flame and coal burns without a flame. What is combustion? Combustion is a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen and generates heat. Combustible substances. What are combustible substances? The substances that undergoes combustion are called combustible substances. The substances give off heat and sometimes light when they react with oxygen. For example, charcoal and magnesium are combustible substances. We can call combustible substances as fuel. Any substance which upon combustion produces a usable amount of energy is known as fuel. For example, fossil fuels, biogas, nuclear energy. Fuels can be solid, liquid or gas depending on their state. On the basis of their occurrence, it can be either natural fuels or artificial fuels. As we learned, fossil fuels are natural fuels. Why do we say that food is fuel for our body? When we eat food, it gets broken down in simpler substances which react with oxygen and generate energy. Hence, food is referred to as fuel for our body. That you learned about digestion of food materials. The digested food materials are absorbed into the blood, and in each and every cell they are undergoing aerobic cellular respiration, and by that process energy is released. That's why we can say that food is fuel for our body. Here you can see some materials are given. We can classify them into combustible and non-combustible substances. From this table, wood, kerosene oil, straw, charcoal, matchsticks, these are combustible substances. Here is an experiment. Experiment to prove or show that air is essential for burning. For this experiment, fix a lighted candle on a table and put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter the chimney. Now observe what happens to the flame. Now we can see the second case. Now remove the blocks and let the chimney rest on the table. Again observe the flame. Finally, put a glass plate over the chimney and watch the flame again. What happens in these three cases? Does the flame flicker off? Does it flicker and give smoke? Does it burn unaffected? What is your observation? We can see that for combustion, air is required. From this experiment, we can confirm or we can prove that air is necessary for combustion. And in all these three cases, when we observe, the candle burns freely when air can enter the chimney from below. That is in the first case. The candle burns freely in case 1. There, the air can enter the chimney from below. In case B, when air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. And in case C or the third case, the flame finally goes off because the air is not available. The candle burns freely when air can enter the chimney from below. When air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces the smoke. The flame finally goes off because the air was not available in the third case. It proves that air or oxygen is essential for burning. Why is the person caught in fire is covered with a blanket? Yes, if the clothes of a person catch fire, he is immediately wrapped in a thick blanket. The blanket cuts off the supply of air and hence the fire is put off. As you know that air or oxygen supports burning. If it is not there, the burning cannot happen. Does a matchstick burn by itself? Can we burn a wood piece by a lighted matchstick? The answer to these questions is no. This shows that different substances burn at different temperatures. Some minimum temperature is essential for burning a combustible substance before it catches fire. Some minimum temperature is essential for burning a combustible substance before it catches fire. The temperature, that minimum temperature, we can call it as ignition temperature. What is ignition temperature? The lowest temperature at which a combustible substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. A combustible substance cannot catch fire as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature. But if both are heated a little, then kerosene oil will catch fire. This shows that ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of wood.